No, I appreciate that. I just have to pick a sport that I like if I do. All right, if you're watching this, this is the pre-show here for the Rants of Izzo on Spreely Media. You could exclusively watch the entire show on rantsofizzo.com or spreely.tv. If you have a smartphone, download the Freedom Hub app for your smartphone, all one word, Freedom Hub. Or if you're going to watch this on Fire Stick, Apple, Roku, there's a Spreely TV app. Well, what is Spreely, you ask? Speak freely. Speak freely. Other than that, if you're watching on another platform, you're only getting the first 15 minutes of the show. That's it. So we appreciate you joining. That's about it. Yeah. All right, we're going to be live. 35 seconds.
Man, I'm excited. We're getting closer to Christmas. Good times, buddy. Rocking the new Nakatomi Plaza Christmas party shirts.
Why? What is that in reference to?
Die Hard, man.
I don't know. Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. That was already put into play.
100% a Christmas movie. 100%.
All right, guys. Go Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely Media. See you in a second.
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your hosts, Dominick Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
Hi, kids. This is the Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely Media. This is a Monday through Friday live show, podcast, and vidcast. Stream of consciousness, if you will. We talk about everything in between porn and politics, everything on the end of the spectrum. We want to offer entertainment for you because we know your day sucks, and by the time you get to us live at noon Central, you've already heard the entire doom and gloom in the morning, and we don't want to be a bunch of talking heads about just regurgitating, say, Joe Biden this, Trump that, all that shit. We're gonna break something today. So for my co-pilot on this glorious show, Matthew Couch, who you can incidentally sponsor if you want to get him funded for his fully new tactical Titanic strength. Oh, more than Titanic strength. Leg that he got after a major surgery. Go to GiveSendGo.com. Support Matt Couch for the medical bills that have been accumulating and for Matt Couch's new prosthetic that he got. Matt, who we love to have fucking fun here, right? We joke, we get uncomfortable. We're two misogynists who,
We do Jello shots and tell women they're not worth anything. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
No, you haven't gotten to that point yet, because if you did, you'd have more ass than you know what to do with. You're still like, hey, should I call her? Yeah, I think I like this one. Should I call her? You haven't got, don't fucking talk tough. Like, you know what you're talking, like, oh yeah, I got this one. All right. But Matt is legitimately, he's a phenomenal investigative journalist. And he's somebody who has been, he went from mainstream sports, color commentary, if you will, to deep diving into politics. He knows Trump, all this kind of stuff. But there is a case that Matt is infamous for, which is the Seth Rich case and murder and whatnot. Can you do us a favor? Because you got some news to break. Can you bring everybody up to speed, kind of like give the little bit of a background of Seth Rich, and then talk about what happened? I mean, this is huge news, and the floor is yours today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Seth Rich, for those that don't know, Seth Rich was a DNC staffer. He was actually the director of new voter registration for the Democrats, the DNC. He was murdered on July 10th, 2016, shot in the back multiple times, 4:19 a.m. at the intersection of Northwest and Flagler in Washington, D.C. in the District of Columbia. The reason why it's important is about a month after that, Julian Assange, founder of WikiLeaks, went on a Dutch TV program, and he offered a $20,000 reward for information leading to the solving of his murder, which WikiLeaks has never revealed a source. They never done anything like that. And it just basically alluded to that he was the WikiLeaks source, which is what my team believes and our investigators believe, my attorneys believe. We've been fighting for the truth in this investigation for over 6 years now, and have had everything from our asset suit off to death threats to hitmen, all sorts. It's been a hell of a story. I'll write a book or two at some point about all of this insanity that is happening. So giving the backstory of why what happened yesterday or last night is important. The FBI claimed when we were trying to get information, FOIA requests, filing our own lawsuits, they claimed for years they had nothing to do with the Seth Rich murder investigation. Well, in 2020, we started peeling more onions back and countersuing and doing things like that. And what we uncovered was there were email chain, Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. They didn't even know what they had at Judicial Watch. My team ended up going through hundreds of papers of a filing that they got on another case. In that documentation, there were conversations from Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, the disgruntled top FBI brass, and they were literally discussing the Seth Rich murder in emails and saying, "Don't worry about it. We're going to squash this." And so that started peeling. So we're like, well, wait a minute. You guys said you didn't even investigate the Seth Rich murder. Why the hell are you emailing about it through your FBI emails? And so it's went from we never took possession of the laptop. We never took possession of the work laptop. We don't have any information on Seth Rich. We didn't investigate Seth Rich, to what my attorneys, and I got to give a shout out to Ty Clevenger and Eden Quainton, my two amazing attorneys, two of my best friends. They have stood with me for over, God, so many years. I mean, if I had to, if I had to pay my own legal fees, for these guys, it would be millions of dollars for what they've done for me. And they've done it. They are conservative, patriot attorneys. They are true American heroes. And if you need a lawyer in a federal court or in New York or California, Texas, Ty Clevenger, Eden Quainton, hit me up. I mean, I can't recommend somebody that has done more for the country from a legality standpoint in the last 6 or 7 years than these two guys. And so they kept fighting with myself and our team. And so we know there's over 5,000 pages. The FBI has admitted they have over 5,000 pages, Dominic, of documents relating to Seth Rich. They took possession of the work laptop, his personal laptop, tape drives, and DVD drives. They have it all. And they lied about it for years. And now we have the evidence, the proof. And the federal judge yesterday ruled that they have 14 days to give their disclosure terms on how they're going to give my attorneys the laptop, the work laptop, the personal laptop, tape, DVD drives, and everything. And so, and I'll say this, and this is going to sound like a dickhead thing to say, but you keep telling me I'm not dickheadish enough. So
yeah, bring on the dick.
I'm following your lead, and many others on my team. I'm like, dude, you're not being a big enough ass on this. But it amazes me, how many people, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but how many people have sent me messages in the last 24 hours? Hey man, did you see this? Hey man, have you seen this? I'm like, those are my fucking attorneys, you morons. Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, it shows they don't pay attention to anything you do.
I'm the catalyst behind this shit.
Yeah, it shows that they're not paying attention to anything you do.
You're
not being a dick.
It's monkey see, monkey do. And then the people that didn't have the balls to report on this and report my team's fight. I mean, people wouldn't know that Donna Brazil and Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC and the head of the DNC, were at the hospital within 5 minutes of his death if it weren't for my team. They wouldn't know hardly anything in this investigation. We spent years peeling back the onion in this investigation with former, homicide detectives and private investigators and FBI, CIA, NSA, Bill, everybody from Frank Whalen, who was the head of NYPD homicide for 23 years, to Bill Binney, the head of the NSA for 32 years on my team of investigators. And so the moral of this is it's frustrating to me when I see now all the liberal, I might as well call them liberal because they don't have any balls, but the conservative talking heads that are now like, oh yeah, look what's going on in Seth Rich. Where the fuck were you guys in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 when I was getting death threats, when my team was getting sued, all of these different things? Where were these talking heads? None of these people had the balls to even discuss the case. And so don't be wrong, I'm glad that it's getting out there, and I'm glad that we're pushing forward and we're still fighting for justice in this young man's murder. And that's the main thing. I want to know who murdered him. He has a right to justice. And it's amazing that no one at the DNC, no one at the RNC, no one in Washington, D.C., he's still the only unsolved Caucasian murder in the District of Columbia in the last 2 decades. But, nothing to see here, right?
Do you think anything's going to happen?
I'm sure they're gonna push back hard, the FBI. And then, people understand when you're going after the FBI for records, you're dealing with assistant U.S. attorneys. Being a police officer, exactly where I'm going with this. Those people don't play around; they play dirty. So you're going after you talk about U.S. federal attorneys, assistant U.S. attorneys. They represent the FBI. They'll come back. They'll push back. They'll try to the latest thing, and of course we'll appeal it, is we just got a document this morning, saying that our legal counsel could not view the information. Well, what the hell is the point of the? It's like, hey, you can get the information, but you can't see it. This is the kind of dirty tricks and bullshit that these people pull in Washington, D.C. The alphabet agencies are running America. Americans don't realize it. And I'll say this right now. I said it on a program in West Texas. I was on KWL in West Texas earlier this morning discussing this with Dr. Bartlett. And basically, the biggest thing to me is the alphabet agencies, and you know this, hell, you and I have had this talk off the record, but the alphabet agencies, the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, the DIA, that's who's running America, not the politicians. Between that and the corporate lobbyists and the corporations like Big Pharma, those are the people running America. But make no mistake about it, all 535 members of your elected Congress and Senate are scared to death of the alphabet agencies. They killed Kennedy. They killed his brother. They tried to kill Reagan. Donald Trump, remember 2017, Dominic was like, I'm releasing all the JFK records. Everybody has a right to know. And I love Trump. You know that. He's my guy. Everybody has a right to know. I'm going to release them all.
Didn't happen.
No, because the CIA went nuts and they're like, hey, we hate to tell you what that Bush Senior guy was kind of involved in that.
He was,
He was still alive, And so they've done everything in their power to cover up these things. And that's the disheartening thing, is that people don't see, it's not that they don't see it, Dom. They just don't care.
Yeah.
And I just don't believe people are stupid. I don't believe that they're inherently dumb. Not this dumb. I think they're dumb. They're just not.
No, I think it's like anything else. Like every time somebody has information, you said this yesterday in your post. You're like, man, all the people who say nothing's going to happen. You just said it, right? Tucker Carlson, who's, let's just say he's a pretty substantial name in the realm of reporting information that people take seriously. 6-8 months ago, he had on information from what he believed a credible source to say legitimately that the CIA was involved with President Kennedy's murder.
Yeah, and
nobody gave it.
Months later.
Well, yeah, and nobody gives a shit. It's literally maybe this goes back to, and again, we are speaking specifically for entertainment purposes only, right? I don't know what it's going to take, because we already know conservatives do not act. They tweet, they share memes, they harumph in the comment section, and that's it. But one would think, right? And this kind of parallels. I'm gonna branch off into a little bit of my outrage from yesterday. You would think that American people would say, wait a second, our government murdered a beloved president, and we all just went, okay, cool. What else is on? Just like the end of the Truman Show. It parallels into yesterday. You posted a few cops in a parking lot at McDonald's, just using the worst fucking tactics I've ever seen on subjects. And you had some big name accounts, including I can't remember what his name is, Gunner, whatever his name is. I think who's got like 400,000 people following him, and he typed in like Mick cracked their heads in whatever. And and we're laughing over it, to be honest.
Well, he's a retired cop.
Well, he's a fucking idiot then. And I have no problem with hearing me saying that. You're going to support moron, dangerous cops in the street, and that's all we do is, here's the point. If on our federal level or on our municipal level, we're making fun of cops literally abusing their authority, violating constitutional rights, abhorrent tactics, and we're mocking it, making fun of it, which we know is going to get out of control because they're going to bleed over to the citizens. Blows me away, a little bit of a tirade here, how all these people are so outraged at the cops who they enforced mask mandates, but when it comes to cops beating the shit out of civilians, it's like, oh, they deserved it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So bootlicking conservatives are fucking morons, and they're going to, with their lack of action and their verbal support, are going to usher in bad cops like that, and that bleeds over into something like our federal government is allegedly, or it is, involved in the assassination of the president, and we don't give a shit. We don't give a fucking shit. So that's the point is, you're going to put this information out there, and people are going to go, oh, Matt, oh, that's awesome. That's great to hear. You got to follow up on the case. Oh, our federal government murdered somebody? What are you going to do?
Well, and it goes in, it's the same people that are like, our vote doesn't matter. They're the same people that go, nothing's gonna happen. Sorry, I'm getting blown up here. From that, you guys can hear the dings. I apologize.
No, we can't. We cannot hear the dings. You're fine.
Good. That makes me happy. And so, but I mean, that's the other thing. It's literally the same conservatives that are like, our vote doesn't matter. Then you get a big break, and you've been fighting for 6 years for justice in a case that can blow the whole, they can bring down the entire house of cards, and nothing's gonna happen. Well, why do you want to? Then stop bitching about it. If your mentality is my vote doesn't matter and nothing's going to happen, then shut the fuck up.
I'll be responsible for my words since I publicly called him out. It's Gunther Eagleman. Gunther Eagleman on Twitter, who's got 474,000 followers.
And he's a good dude. I mean, he's just,
I have no respect
for shock and awe too. Stuff like that.
I don't. It's such a serious topic. I don't have an ounce of respect for anybody who jokes about, endorses, advocates for cops beating fucking people on the street. It's not the survey I put up yesterday asking what the role of use of force is in a police tactics situation. The answer 100% is
punish people.
No, it's not. People think it is to punish people. That's how dangerous and stupid and uneducated our society is. The job is to affect and arrest, no matter what anybody says. But I don't know this Gunther personally. I just have zero respect for anybody who even remotely defends the actions of bad cops. I mean, fuck that. That's that.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's, and I'll be honest, I mean, I know him really well, but I mean, the mentality of the country has been, it's just so flip-flopping, like it's 1 minute, I can't believe they did this. The next minute, they should have beat his ass more. There's no consistency in any reporting. Journalism is almost dead. There's no integrity left in it whatsoever on either side of the aisle. And then morality is out the window because, people go, oh, well, he's a criminal. He deserved to have his ass beat.
To watch the rest of this episode of the Rants of Izzo show, you could either go to therantsofizzo.com or download the Freedom Hub app from your smartphone. You can either watch the full version in video format or listen to it on our podcast. On behalf of all of us here at Spreely Media, thanks for watching.